What up, everybody? Mad Outdoorsman here. So, guys, what would bugging out be like if you had to leave your home or your apartment and get away from danger? The danger of people, the danger of looting, the danger of rioting, and just to get away from the total lawlessness that's occurring around you. What would bugging out be like? You know, a lot of people make videos and they talk about, you know, how to prepare to bug out and what to do, how to get there, you know, what to pack, you know, myself included. And there's a lot of great channels out there that make some pretty awesome videos about bugging out. All right. But I don't really see too much as far as a demo. All right. So here's what we got, guys. You know, for those of you that watched my bug out bag video, you already know what I'm doing right now. I'm doing some solo winter camping. All right. I come out here a couple times a year, a few times a year after hunting season's over, right around February and first couple weeks of March. And I come out here for two reasons, guys. Number one, just to enjoy the peace and quiet. This cleanses the soul for me, guys. And that's the only way I can describe it. All right, this is my peace. But number two, guys, and very important, training. Training the mind. Training the body. Having that mindset so you are prepared to be in a very uncomfortable situation. All right? And you're probably saying, well, Mad Outdoorsman, what's the matter? You weren't comfortable last night? That's not comfortable. Looks like you got a inflatable sleeping pad here with a mummy sleeping bag. Get yourself a nice little blanket, Mad Outdoorsman. You looked like you were comfortable to me. You had a roof over your head and you had a long fire about 6 feet away. Well, folks, for 11 degrees below zero, which it was last night when I went to bed around 8:30. Yeah, I guess I was as comfortable as can be. Yeah, it was cold. The feel like temperature was 11 degrees below zero last night when I went to bed. Warmed up significantly this morning. I rised and shined around 7:30 this morning. Checked the temperature here on my device, and it showed a balmy 21 degrees. All right. It was cold last night, guys. Not gonna lie. The sleeping bag kept me warm. The wool blanket, that was definitely a lifesaver. You know, I draped that over my sleeping bag. You know, and I use that as a fire blanket too, you know, because of the proximity of the long fire here. But that inflatable sleeping pad, yeah, that was like sleeping on a sheet of ice. And I think what I got out of this particular camping trip was that the next time I come out here, I'm definitely going to have a heated sleeping pad. All right, because sleeping on the ground without a heated sleeping pad is no bueno. No bueno, guys. But all in all, it was a decent outing. Again, I was at peace. You know, I was training the mindset, training the body. Had some decent food with me last night. And cooked up a nice meal over the fire. You know, I had a cup of instant coffee this morning. You know, I got my pouch there that has a bunch of seasonings in it with coffee and sugar and other seasonings, whatnots. But again, it goes back to putting yourself in a scenario when shit breaks bad and you do have to bug out, okay? Basically, all you can really do is bring what you can put on your back. And I don't know if you can see it from here, but like I said, if you did watch my bug out bag video, there is my bag back there. That's an 85-liter bag. All right, and basically everything you see here, okay, and then some, fits in that bag nice and comfortably. All right, and at the end of the day, it's probably about 55 pounds on my back. For my shelter here, basically what I did was I attached a ridge line between two trees. All right, so I got a bowline knot on one end. I got a taut line hitch on the other end. Okay. I got a couple pressure loops here that I made out of some extra shoelaces that I had in my bug out gear. All right, and I just threw a toggle in between the grommet hole just to keep the tarp from sliding up and down the rope. And I just had some tent stakes here, a couple tent poles, and I just guyed out the front of the tarp shelter. All right, so that's a lean-to tarp shelter, guys. That's pretty much my go-to every time I do winter tarp camping. The key to that basically is wind direction. That's very important. Like right now, the wind has shifted. Right now, the wind is blowing inside of the shelter. Could have used that last night with the extra bit of heat, but I did get some decent heat from the fire. Last night, the wind direction was blowing towards the top of the shelter here. Rather the back of the shelter here, I should say. All right. And, you know, if there was inclement weather, which there wasn't last night, you know, we had clear skies last night, and that continues on to today. What I would have done is simply I would have just built up some sidewalls here on each side to protect me from any elements. And what would I use for cover for that? Well, you're looking at it right there, guys. This is probably the best stuff to use, in my opinion. You know, some nice pine. I got it scattered all throughout the forest here. So what I would do is I would just cut branches down and I would just build up like a windbreak, you know, and a break to keep the precipitation out. So at the bottom of the hill here, I got a stream. Not sure if you guys can see that from here. All right, that's where I'm drawing my fresh water from. All right, what I'm doing is I'm putting it in my kettle here. And I'm boiling it for about 3 minutes over my fire to purify the water. All right, that's how I had my coffee this morning. That's how I had my oatmeal. I do have some soup here in my food bag that I have hanging off of the ground. I have some soup for lunch that I'll be cooking up later. And then after lunch, I'll be cleaning up camp, packing everything up, and backpacking out of here back to the truck, which is about a 45-minute hike from here, give or take. But yeah, this would be my bug out scenario. I would actually have my tent. I do have a hot tent, guys, with a stove, and you could probably see the stove and the pipe in the background. All right. So about that. So my mission yesterday was to do some hot tent camping. You know, it was a fairly temperature of 23 degrees below zero when I arrived here at noontime yesterday. And everything was going well. I had the tent set up, which you see rolled up here in the corner. I had the stove in the tent. I had the pipe rolled up nice and installed in the stove. And I got a fire going. The only thing I did not do, which kind of cost me, as you can see, was I did not guy out the top of my stovepipe. So what ended up happening while I had a fire going inside of my hot tent was the wind took this pipe and it bent the motherfucker right in half. So there you go. All right. Listen, I don't hold nothing back on my channel. I don't pretend like I know it all. All right. I've been doing solo winter camping for many years. Different kinds, cold tent, tarp camping. I've been hunting these grounds for many years. I'm comfortable with being in the outdoors, but I'm going to tell you guys something right now. It is always a learning experience, and I am no expert, and I don't pretend to be. All right, so I'm not afraid to show you guys shit like this right here. All right, so now I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. So what I'm going to do the next time is I'm going to attach guy out ropes to the top of my chimney cap here. What are you doing out here in this weather? I'm gonna guy out this this pipe before I install it in the stove and get a fire going. So that is a lesson learned from this trip, guys. Could have been a lot worse. You know, that pipe was hot when it fell over. But again, lesson learned. And what did I do? I went to plan B. There you go, plan B is right there. I keep a tarp packed away for situations just like that. And I just constructed myself a simple lean-to top shelter. You know, I adapted, I improvised, and I overcame the situation. All right. So that's really about it. That's what it's about, guys. It's about trials and tribulations, trial and error, and adapting to the situation, because not everything is going to go as planned, as I have demonstrated for you guys. So I thought that was very important to put in this video. Anyway, with that said, I think it's very important, if you are a like-minded individual like myself, I think it's very important to get out there and practice and train yourself. Put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, all right? Because you never know. With the way this world is going today, you just never know what tomorrow's gonna bring, you know? And I'm not trying to talk all doom and gloom here, but I can't stress that enough, guys. So put yourselves in those situations that are uncomfortable. Train yourself, train your body, all right? Understand that not everything is gonna go as planned, and understand that you have to have the ability to adapt, overcome, and improvise to the situation, okay? But anyway, all in all, with that said, had a pretty decent outing. I'm just gonna stay for another hour or two. I'm gonna let this fire burn out a little bit. Probably have some lunch before I let the fire burn out, and pack up camp and get out of here. All right? Anyway, Mad Outdoorsman. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next.